Hello,
Hello,
I'm Wayne Anthony,
and I'm Jude Savage.
and welcome to our channel,
Quest.
The Search for Truth.
And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing...
It's a bit of a controversial kind of matrix thing, but it's called...
the Mandela Effect.
Indeed, the Mandela Effect.
Yeah, now stick with us on this one, because you may well go, yes, or no, or... whatever. So, the Mandela Effect. Well, the phrase the Mandela Effect
came from
Fiona Broome in 2009. And this came from, she thought that Nelson Mandela had died in the late 1980s.
Yeah, he did.
And, yeah, I thought so too. And she discovered she wasn't alone, like lots of us. When he actually did die, much later on, I thought he was already dead.
Yeah. I remember him dying the first time.
But apparently he didn't.
I was
obviously.
oh, that's really, really sad. He died in captivity. Because it was Nelson Mandela that said freedom is a state of mind. So wherever you are, because that phrase really stuck with me. You know what? I may be in the darkest dungeon, but my mindset tells me I'm not.
Yeah.
So freedom is a state of mind in terms of, I might be locked up, I might be captivated, but I don't feel that way because my mind is elsewhere doing other things.
Yeah. So, if you are one of those people, welcome to our world, because we thought that too. And there are lots of things that people thought, I thought that was this way and that.
Nelson is not the only one.
No, and so now the Mandela Effect is the phrase used for all of these examples. Let me give you another example. So the Monopoly Man, this one's quite common as well. Yeah. Now, think of the Monopoly Man in your mind, if you've not heard about this already. He has a top hat. Does he have a monocle? No, he doesn't. But I would swear blind. In fact, I went and looked it up and I was like, he does have a monocle.
On our timeline.
Yeah, on our timeline.
Important on our timeline.
Yes. Now, this is where we start coming into like theories as to why. Yeah.
Parallel universes and black holes and being absorbed, and there's all kinds of different things going on about this theory. But on our timeline, yes, he had a monocle, didn't he? But on other people's timelines is what you recall, etc. He didn't. Yes.
And then there's loads and loads you can look up. We can go down a rabbit hole with all of these.
We're going to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, like Mickey Mouse, little shorts.
Braces
all in America, if you're from America, suspenders.
Boat.
Surely he had braces.
Chug along.
Apparently not. And I went and looked up pictures of him and I went, he's not wearing braces or suspenders if you're in America.
On this timeline.
No.
But on your timeline, he was. My timeline, he was.
Yeah.
So something's altered. Something's changed.
Evil Queen is Snow White. What does she say?
Mirror on the wall.
No, she doesn't.
Who's the fairest off them all? Not you.
She says, magic mirror on the wall. So where's mirror come from? Because
on the wall.
Loads of people go, where's mirror on the wall? Tons and tons of them, aren't there?
What do you remember? Do you remember mirror on the wall? Or do you remember magic mirror on the wall?
Yeah, and when I went and looked up, there's a whole speech she does beforehand as well, and I don't remember all of that. I just remember her going...
Do you remember Bambi?
Bambi, yeah. I do. I can't mention Bambi because I cried. My mum had to take me out of the cinema.
When did Bambi's mum die? At the beginning?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Did she not?
No, she doesn't die at the beginning at all. It's much, much later on in the movie. I remember her dying at the beginning. You remember her dying at the beginning.
Yes, towards the beginning. I thought it was towards the beginning of the film, so I thought that was the whole thing, because I cried loads and my mum took me out the cinema.
So it starts, doesn't it? It starts, do you remember the cartoon starts?
Vaguely, yeah.
And Bambi's there, little Bambi, save me. But then she gets...
And mum was shot or whatever.
Whacked.
Yes.
And she dies, and then Bambi goes on to tell his story, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No, that's not what happens at all.
So she died much later on?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. On my timeline...
Your timeline
she
tells
dies
you
at the
differently.
beginning.
Yeah, on other people's timelines, she dies much later on. You need to go and have a look at it.
Yeah.
We've got
Darth Vader? Fruit of the Loom, yeah?
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. What does he say? I am your father, Luke. Or Luke, I am your father.
Luke,
He doesn't.
I am your father.
Apparently, he only says, I am your father. He doesn't say Luke at all.
Because that's different things, isn't it? Fruit of the loom.
Fruit of the loom.
Lumi fruit.
Cornucopia.
Yeah, the cornucopia. The cornucopia is a... What is the cornucopia?
It's like it's sort of like a horn of plenty.
Horn of plenty.
I don't know what I'm doing now. Horn of plenty.
Okay, it's a horn of plenty. You wouldn't want a horn of
unplenty.
less, would you? Really? Anyway, the horn of plenty. And it's got fruits coming out of it.
Yeah.
Because traditionally the cornucopia was a horn that had apples and wine and grapes and bread and fruit, and every time you took something from it, it was replaced.
Yeah,
so it just grew and grew and grew. But that's not true. It never existed.
The fruit of the loom never had that.
No. The Bernstein bears.
Yeah, no, I'm too young to remember this. But I've heard this.
It's much more American than it is, the UK. But apparently that didn't exist either.
No. Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
Yeah.
What's the rest of it?
I can't remember. But I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids or you pesky kids.
You pesky, yeah.
Surely every episode, the end of that, they unmasked. And that's what the villain said.
Yeah, for sure. Every episode, every other episode ended in that.
Yeah. But
I would have got away for this with this, apart from you pesky interfering
you
kids.
Pesky kids. No, apparently
and then
not.
whacked off the mask, didn't they?
Apparently not.
Yeah.
No. So, another one. Wizard of Oz.
Of many.
Yeah, there's several actually in the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So, we know that the Tin Man carries an axe.
Yes,
we know that Dorothy's carrying a basket. The Cowardly Lion holds onto his tail. Is the Scarecrow carrying anything?
I can't remember.
No, I don't think he's carrying anything.
No, Scarecrow's just being scaredy crow.
Yeah, whatever. Apparently he's carrying a pistol at several points. A gun. Don't remember that. That never happened in my world.
What, do you know the Mandela Effect?
No. What colour are her socks?
Yeah, what colour is Dorothy's socks?
Do you remember them being white?
Pink.
Do you remember them being pink? Do you remember them being
Purple.
blue? Do you remember them being white with stripes on? I remember them being white with stripes.
I remember them being white with stripes, if I'm honest.
All blue?
Blue, apparently. Blue socks. Go and have a look.
Weird. So, what's going on?
Indeed.
What's happening?
What's the Mandela Effect? What's happening? What's happening in time? What's changing things? What's making... we hear about the... the Matrix, don't we? And things changing with the Matrix and things glitching and things changing. But what's really going on? What do you remember?
Yeah.
What about James Bond? Do you remember the girl with the teeth?
No.
Do you remember the guy with the really, really bad teeth? And he's got
Jaws.
Jaws.
Yeah.
And at the end, he meets, is it Deborah?
Oh, I can't remember.
And she smiles.
Yes, I do remember.
She
she is like that. Yes, and she's got...
No, she doesn't.
I thought she had braces as well.
No, she doesn't. She's got no braces. She's got like the ponytail.
I thought that was the whole point, that he had and then she smiled and then...
Yeah, she doesn't have the braces.
Mind blown.
She doesn't have the braces, so something changed. Again, something in the timeline has changed. But what causes it?
Yeah, now come some of us remember certain events and other people don't.
Or some of us remember both of those events.
Yes.
Both the teeth and the... as Deborah as an example. And then we've seen the other version where she doesn't have the teeth.
So, there's loads of examples that you can go and look up on the internet. But the question is, do you remember one event or can you remember both of the events? Now, if you can remember both, then your timeline is different.
Very different.
To other people's.
Yes.
Now, we have a theory on this.
We do.
But we're not going to tell
We're
you.
evolving the theory as we go along.
It's all about, now you coined a great phrase, quantum amalgamation.
Quantum amalgamation.
Now, if you want to know what that is...
What do you think it means?
Then join us again for our next episode on this. We'll go into it a bit more in depth.
Follow the rabbit.
Yeah. In the meantime, let us know your experiences.
Yes, indeed.
Give us a like, comment.
By the way, It's not timeline shifts.
No,
or
not time slips. No,
time slips. It's
they're
not
very
that.
different.
They're very different, and
Yeah.
we see a lot of the Mandela effect being
Yeah.
compared to time slips, don't
Yeah, we do.
we?
They're
We
different.
don't think it's the same
No,
thing.
in our
We
opinion,
think
they're
it's different. It's been amalgamated into the one thing, but we think it's very different to that. So.
Yeah, and in fact, we'll do a separate episode on
We
time
will.
slips.
We will.
So, in the meantime, let us know your thoughts, and hopefully, you'll join us again for our second part of this episode.
Which gets more interesting. Bye for now.